So if you just got a new iPhone 16 or 16 Plus and are wondering how to use it, you've come to the right video. Today, I'm going to show you how to navigate the home screen. I'm going to show you what each of the apps that come installed on the phone do. And of course, I'm also going to show you what each of the buttons on the exterior of the phone do. I promise at the end of this video, you will have all of the fundamentals to properly navigate your new iPhone. But anyways, that being said, let's begin as always with the home screen. So this is what you will see once you unlock your device. This is basically where you store your widgets, which are little windows that display information, and where you will store your app icons, which, as you probably know, are the windows, so to say, to the apps. Now, I think by default, you only have 2 pages on your home screen, but you can create as many pages as you want to store, of course, as many app icons and widgets as you want. So if you want to do that, you just have to tap and hold on an icon and then move it to the right to create a new page. Now you can store as many icons and widgets as you want here, and you can do it as many times as you want. So you swipe to the right. Once again, you have a new home screen page to store icons and widgets. Now, always, you can, of course, have as many, as I said, pages as you want, but the last page at the right will always be your app library. This is basically where you will find every single app you have on your device. So you can think of your homepage as the place where you store your most used apps, the ones you use daily. And then you can have everything else right here properly organized on the app library. Now, if you don't find your app right here on the selected folders, which, by the way, something you should know is that these folders are created by Apple and you cannot arrange them as you please. So these are fixed. If you don't find your app in the selected folders, you can always tap here at the top on the search bar and type your app. Amazon, for example, you'll find it here. And if you want to move it to the home screen, you just have to tap and hold and move it like this to any page on your home screen you desire, like this one, for example. There it is. Now, of course, as you've seen in this video, you can also move the apps and the widgets and change their location to customize your home screen. So if you want to move a widget, you have to tap and hold on the icon and then move it anywhere you want. So you can move it here at the bottom or right here in the middle or put it back at the top. And then you have also full customization for the icons. So once again, you tap and hold, move it a little bit to activate the wiggle mode, and then you can literally place any icon anywhere you want on your home screen. It is that simple. Okay, so we now control the home screen, the apps, and the widgets. It is time to talk about the external buttons on the phone. There is a couple buttons on the iPhone 16, and they are not all super clear on what they do. So let's begin with the buttons right here on the left side. As you can see, we have 2 buttons that are very similar to each other. These are the volume buttons. So if you tap on the one at the top, you will increase your volume. And if you tap on the one that's below, you will decrease your volume. Now, if you want to do it faster, you can also tap and hold, and the volume will go up faster. And you can tap and hold, and the volume will go down also faster. Now, the one that's here at the top is actually a customizable button called the action button. You probably remember I told you there's 3 different things you want to control in the settings: the connectivity settings, the display and brightness settings, and the action button, which I said we were going to talk about later. Well, it is time to talk about it because this right here is the action button. As you can see, if I tap and hold on the action button, it is going to turn on the flash, but that's because it is the action that I set the button to do. So if you tap here on the action button menu on the settings, you'll see there is multiple different things you can enable by tapping and holding on the action button. Let's take a look at some of them. So first of all, if you swipe all the way to the left, you'll access the silent mode functionality. So If you tap and hold on the action button, the phone will automatically become silent. And if you tap and hold again, the phone will be able to make noises again. Now, if you swipe from the right to the left, you'll have access to another functionality, which is a focus mode. This is a little confusing, so we'll take a look at it in another video. It's a topic for another day. If you swipe from the right to the left again, you'll have access to the camera functionality. So as you can see, when we tap and hold, it opens the camera automatically. And the interesting thing about this is that you can set it to open a specific menu within the camera. So if you tap right here on photo, you'll see there's actually more options. You can type selfie, video, portrait, or portrait selfie. And when you tap and hold on the action button, you'll open the camera app with this menus enabled. So let me show you with, for example, a video. If I tap on video and then tap and hold on the action button, automatically I will not only open the camera app, but I will open it in the video menu. If we swipe from the right again, we access the torch, which is the option that I had turned on by default. As you can see, tap and hold, it turns on or off the torch or flash. Then we have the option to create a new voice memo. We have the option to turn on to recognize music with Shazam, to translate things automatically. There's, as you can see, plenty other options. Some of them can be a little complex, like shortcuts or control center. So I suggest you work with the ones right here, either silent mode or the camera or the torch. These are the ones that I recommend you turn on or use with your action button. Now, once you set a specific functionality for the button, you don't have to do anything else. You can just swipe out of the menu to go back to the main settings page, or you can swipe from the bottom to go back to the home screen. It is automatically going to be saved, and every time you press and hold the action button, it is going to perform the action you selected. Now, that said, as you can see, there's two more buttons on the right side of the phone, which are a little complex because they perform multiple different things. So first of all, this button right here at the top is the power button. So if you press it once, it is automatically going to lock your iPhone. But if you tap and hold on the power button, you can actually turn on Siri, which, as many of you know, is a simple assistant that can perform a range of different activities, like setting an alarm for tomorrow or giving you the weather in a specific place. Set an alarm for 7 a.m. tomorrow. And it creates an alarm for 7 a.m. It is, of course, not going to do as many things as an AI assistant like ChatGPT can do, but for simple things like this, it is actually pretty handy. Now, last but not least, as you can see, we have another button called the camera control button that, like the name suggests, is going to let you access the camera. So if you tap on the button once, it opens the camera. If you tap on the button again, it takes a picture. It can be a little confusing because, as you saw earlier, the action button can also technically open the camera. So you can have two buttons opening the camera at the same time, which is a little confusing and a little inefficient. So I suggest you set the action button to anything but the camera opening functionality because you already have a camera opening functionality with the camera control button. Now, two more things you need to know to properly navigate your iPhone is that there is a notifications page, which is basically going to show you all of your notifications. In this case, I don't have any, but they would show up right here. If you swipe from the top of the phone, and you have a control center page, which you access swiping from the top right of the device, only the top right, and that can let you control, well, all of the things we saw in the settings page earlier in an easier way. So as you can see, you can control your connectivity settings, you can control your brightness, you can toggle the flash. All of the things we've been seeing in this video can be enabled or disabled in a much easier way by swiping from the top right and accessing the control center. You can even open the camera app automatically. It is actually pretty useful. Now, you are probably a little confused, so I'm going to say it again. Swiping from the top left or middle, you access the notification center where you'll find all of your notifications. And then swiping from the top right, exclusively the top right of the phone, you can access the control center. Now, just so you can see how the notifications page would look, I'm going to show you on my current personal iPhone. As you can see, if I swipe from the top left or middle, I can see all of the notifications that I have on my device. And if you want to delete a specific notification, you just have to swipe from the right to the left, and it automatically will be deleted. Now, something you should know is that sometimes apps can get a little annoying because they send way too many notifications. So if you want to make a specific app not send you any notifications, it is actually pretty easy. You just have to come to the settings, then you want to go back to the main settings menu. You want to scroll all the way to the bottom where you can see the apps menu. And then you just have to find the specific app that's bothering you. In this case, let's imagine it's ChatGPT. Then you want to tap on notifications, and then you want to tap on allow notifications to turn that feature off. If you do this with any app, it will automatically not be able to send you any notifications, so it can stop bothering you. Another problem you may find is that you're getting way too many notifications from way too many apps, and you're getting overwhelmed, so you want to stop getting any notifications from any apps. In that case, what you want to do is you want to swipe from the top right to access the control center, and you want to tap on this button right here, the bell button. If you tap on it once, the phone will automatically become silent, so there's not going to be any noises, there's not going to be any annoyances, you're not going to get new notification pop-up menus or sounds. And if you want to go back to normal so you can keep receiving your notifications and for the phone to keep making sounds, you can tap on it again and leave the silence mode. That is the way you customize your notifications. But what about the control center? Is there a way that I can customize this menu right here? Well, yes, there is. For doing that, you have to tap and hold in any place of the control center where there's no icons. So ideally at the bottom. Tap and hold, and you'll access the menu where you can tweak and change the control center as much as you want. So you can move icons anywhere you want, much like with the home screen. So you can, if you want to move everything to the bottom so it's more easily accessible, you can do that. If you want to delete a specific menu because you're not using it, like this one, you can tap on it once and you can delete it. And then if you want to add or take a look at all of the potential menus or toggles you can have on your control center, you want to tap right here on Add a Control. Here you will find every single toggle or menu or button you can add to your control center. As you can see, there's plenty of options. I'm pretty sure there's also a third-party apps that can create buttons for the control center. So this can actually get pretty interesting. In this case, for example, there's an Instagram button. So if we add the Instagram toggle and we put it there, tap on it, automatically we are going to open Instagram. So there is plenty of ways you can customize the control center to look as you want. This, of course, can get complex too, so I suggest you only do this if you are willing to tinker with the phone for a couple hours to properly figure it out and get the control center as you please. If that's not the case, the default menu is actually pretty convenient. It has most of the toggles you would want to enable on your phone, so you can also leave it as is, and it's going to give you a lot of functionality without having to do anything else. I really hope you liked this video. If that's the case, please hit the like button. And if you have any suggestions or requests for things that I didn't talk about in this video that you want to learn, please tell me in the comments and I will fix it in a future video. That said, have a nice day.